Watch a ball leave a boot at over 80 miles an hour. It bends, it dips, and it flies dead straight when it needs to. But a football is really just stitched up plastic and air. So how does something this simple fly so perfectly and survive 1,000 brutal kicks? The answer hides in 32 panels, 3 secret layers, a rubber heart, and a test measured to a fraction of a millimeter. We'll follow one ball from a flat sheet of plastic to the back of the net. And the last secret is one the best players in the world once hated. Every ball begins as a shape problem. A true sphere is impossible to build from flat pieces, so the makers cheat cleverly. The classic answer is elegant: 12 pentagons and 20 hexagons. Stitch those 32 panels together, and the flat shapes pull themselves into something that's almost a perfect ball. Mathematicians even have a name for it: a truncated icosahedron. The pentagons force the curve, while the hexagons fill the space in between. Scientists later found the very same shape in a carbon molecule and nicknamed it the buckyball. But the ball's real fame arrived in 1970. Television was still black and white, so designers painted the pentagons black. Suddenly, fans could actually see the ball spin across the screen, and a design icon was born. Now rewind even further. Long before plastic, balls were made of leather, and leather hid a dangerous flaw. Real leather soaked up rain like a sponge. Dry, a ball weighed under a pound. Soaked, it swelled into a heavy, waterlogged wrecking ball. Players heading that sodden leather risked real, lasting injury. Something had to change. So modern balls traded leather for synthetic skins, usually a tough plastic called polyurethane. It shrugs off water and holds its shape for years, yet stays soft to the touch and almost impossible to tear. But that skin is only the beginning. It still has to be cut, printed, and built up in hidden layers. The material arrives as large rolls of synthetic sheet. Sharp steel dies stamp out each panel, like giant cookie cutters. Each panel is then printed with its colors, logos, and designs. A single ball can carry a dozen layers of ink, cured rock hard so they never crack or fade. But a bare sheet of plastic is far too floppy to hold a shape on its own. So every panel is bonded to hidden layers of fabric underneath. Sheets of cotton and polyester are glued together, giving the ball its structure, its firmness, and its bounce. Peel a finished ball apart, and you would find a careful stack of materials. The printed outer cover, several layers of lining, and deep inside, the bladder that holds the air. Those lining layers are the difference between a ball that keeps its shape and one that slowly turns into an egg. Get the stack wrong, and the ball flies soft, heavy, or lopsided, like a brick. Now, the flat panels have to become a ball, and there are 3 very different ways to do it. The oldest way is by hand, with a needle and waxed thread. A skilled stitcher sews the ball inside out, then turns it the right way round through the very last seam. One ball can take more than 600 stitches, and the better part of an hour of patient work. Cheaper balls are machine-stitched instead. Faster, but a little less precise. And most of the world's stitched balls come from one city you may never have heard of: Sialkot, in Pakistan. Sialkot has hand-stitched footballs for well over a century. At its peak, this single city turns out tens of millions of balls a year, including many made for the World Cup. But hand-stitching always leaves tiny gaps at every seam, and gaps let in water. So the top professional balls moved to a newer trick, called thermal bonding. Instead of thread, the panels are glued, then fused together with heat and pressure. The seams melt into one smooth, almost seamless skin. No needle holes, barely any water, and a noticeably rounder, truer flight. But whatever the skin, every ball is lifeless without its heart, the bladder. It's a balloon-like bag, tucked deep inside, and it's what actually holds the air. Two materials rule here. Latex feels soft and lively, but slowly leaks air over a few days. Butyl is firmer and less bouncy, but it holds its breath for weeks. In the finest balls, threads are wound around the bladder by the mile, helping it keep a perfectly even shape. And to fill it, you need one clever little part: the valve. A self-sealing valve, oiled with silicone, lets a thin needle slide in, then snaps shut the instant you pull it out. That tiny valve is the reason your ball doesn't hiss flat the moment the pump comes away. Skin, lining, bladder, and valve are finally brought together as one, and the ball is pumped up, taking its full round shape for the very first time. But nobody trusts a new ball yet. Now comes the hardest part of all: testing. To earn the top mark of approval, a ball must pass a brutal series of checks. Its circumference is measured all the way around, and its weight, right down to the gram. Its air pressure is set and checked, so every ball feels identical underfoot. Then the big one: roundness. A machine measures the ball at dozens of points, making sure it stays a true sphere from every single angle. The very best balls vary by barely 1% across their whole surface. Next, they hold it underwater and squeeze it over and over to prove it barely drinks a drop. They drop it again and again, checking that every bounce springs back to the same height. And a machine fires it at a steel wall thousands of times, faking years of hard kicks in a single afternoon. Only the balls that survive every test earn the stamp. The rest are pulled from the line. The winners are deflated slightly, boxed, and shipped all around the world. From a factory floor to a stadium, a beach, a park, and 1,000 back alleys. Every year, the world makes tens of millions of footballs. It's one of the most produced sports objects on Earth. And almost everyone traces right back to that same shape problem we started with. So let's finally answer the question we opened with. Why does a modern ball fly so true? It comes down to the seams. As a ball flies, air tumbles over those seams and quietly tugs it around. On an old, heavily stitched ball, deep seams made the flight steady, if a little slow. Then, in 2010, makers built a ball so smooth it barely had seams at all, and the players hated it. With almost no seams, the ball knuckled and swerved unpredictably in the air. The fix was strange. Engineers added texture back, tiny grooves and bumps to tame the airflow. So today's best balls are seamless where it counts, but textured just enough to fly straight and true. The flat plastic, the hidden layers, the rubber heart, the endless tests, and that invisible dance with the air. All of it, so a ball can leave a boot and go exactly where it's aimed. Simple to kick, anything but simple to make. Next time a ball hits the back of the net, you'll know the engineering flying with it. And if everyday objects hiding this much science are your thing, the humble match has a story just as explosive.